Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast. This is episode 55. I'm awake this week.
Are you?
Yeah, Ian's also here by the way. If we'd recorded this when we originally scheduled to record it, then I wouldn't have been awake. But today I'm a lot more awake. So yesterday we sat down to record the podcast, realised the microphone was up in the loft from our stream on Sunday, and neither of us were prepared to go and get it.
Yeah.
So I went to bed, and now we are recording this straight after I've been to the theatre, so I'm kind of buzzing from being at the theatre.
Yep.
As I always am. So this is quite a nice way to wind down.
Which means you're going to sing at random points.
I might start singing Meatloaf, yeah. So it is what it is. What are we talking about?
Sustainability.
So Ian's like, let's talk about sustain...
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Ian was like, let's talk about sustainability, and it seemed relevant because of the whole CMF moving to cardboard boxes. And actually we checked back and we have already talked about sustainability. We both knew that. We hadn't forgotten. But it was a year ago, so it's kind of interesting to see how far they've come.
We've been talking about doing another sustainability one for a couple of weeks now. It's always been there in kind of when working out what to talk about. It's one of the options.
Yeah.
And we've kept skipping over it because we've had other ones to talk about. But now it seems to have pushed its way to the front.
Well, because of the CMF change.
Yeah.
So should we address that one first?
I guess so.
Do you care?
Not overly.
Do I care? Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people get very upset about things that are just you just have to accept all these things. And also, there are way more important issues going on in the world than the CMF packaging. I mean, seriously, just look at America, and that I kind of want to swear at this point. And I mean, I was looking at stuff on Instagram yesterday, and it breaks you. Yeah. So to have that, and then to go, I'm really sad that my CMF, I can't feel them anymore. I know that you're allowed to feel upset about whatever upsets you. Yes. But in the grand scheme of things, it's really not the most important. So that's kind of my take right now, because that's what I'm thinking about.
That seems fair. Yeah.
I also trust that my super duper Southampton Lego store will do me right, and if I need a full set, they're going to make some way to get me that. Yeah. Because they're really friendly in there.
Whether that's that you buy them, open them and give back the duplicates, it'll be fine.
Yeah. And we're a lovely community of people who like Lego. So if you've got duplicates, swap them. Yeah. That's a nice way of making a more fun thing out of it. I think the people who are most affected probably are the ones who can't get to the Lego stores where they don't really offer that. So people who just randomly buy them from supermarkets and things, they're not going to really be able to do anything about the fact that they've got duplicates. But again, the community aspect, much better. I think I've seen people say changing the bags to boxes isn't about sustainability at all. Like, Lego are labelling it as that, but it's actually a money-making scheme. But they were very upfront with their green agenda. Yeah. Or like what they wanted to achieve. And this does fulfil one of those. Yeah. It's part of that roadmap. Yeah. Yes, the stuff is still in plastic inside, but you've got to start somewhere.
Is it still in plastic inside?
Well, we don't know, do we? Because this isn't until next year. Yeah. But I guess I'm saying it's still in plastic based on the fact that the last time we had this whole debacle with the video bandmates, and they came in the boxes and they were in plastic inside. So people were like, well, why have we got boxes when we've still got plastic? And so if it's just exactly the same as that, then
maybe. But I'm sure we talked about this in the last podcast, that the plastic that comes inside the foil bags is more widely recyclable than the foil bags themselves.
Yeah. So it's still better.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can argue that the whole green agenda is about them making money.
Well, yes, because the more people see there being green, the more people are going to buy Lego. So it's that annoying thing that we had the other day with, let's give to charity and then tell everyone we're giving to charity. Now everyone loves us and buys our product. Everything is always a PR stunt. Yeah. But at the same time, if we're saving the planet, that's not bad. Yes. We've got to save the planet too.
Yeah.
For some reason, I want to like launch into Captain Planet. He's a hero.
Yeah.
Stop.
But no, so the one thing that I do actually like about the fact that Lego are switching from plastic to paper is that it increases their carbon footprint, and they're doing it anyway. So they've said, the process of making the paper packaging, of shipping it and everything, it costs more. Their carbon footprint goes up, but what they're giving to a customer is more recyclable. Right. And so therefore they should do it. And whereas a lot of companies, all they care about is their carbon footprint, and so anything they can do...
Because that is the PR side, yeah.
So it's nice to see them going, yes, we're going to have to make more...
We're going to have to plant a few more trees
somewhere in order for us to do this, but this is still the right thing to do environmentally.
Okay, so ticking the box for sure for the Lego for that.
Yeah.
And ticking the box, ticking the plastic foil bag. No, yeah, I think that's a good point. I like that. Yeah. So how are they getting on with all the other things that are meant to be making them more sustainable?
So they're being weird about it. So the whole paper bags thing has just been... It's come in too slowly because, was it the
Ninjago gift
ambassador thing from last year.
Employee gift. Yeah. Christmas gift.
That came in paper bags.
Yeah.
And yet we're now only just seeing paper bags.
I've not seen any paper bags.
You've not seen any yet. Yeah. But in some cases they're including a thing saying that they're going to be switching to paper
so you're bags. Now they're adding more paper, which is increasing their carbon footprint again.
It seems really weird.
I think it's all to do with the factories, isn't it, surely? Like, once they've worked out how to get every machine doing it, then it will be...
Possibly.
...done. But you can't upgrade everything at once.
Yeah.
Or can you? No, you can't. It's not really very feasible. I'm quite excited to see the paper bags. I think it'll be fun. I'm not sure. I might miss the little crackle. Haven't they made it so that they kind of still have an ASMR aspect to them?
Do they?
I don't know.
I don't think I've heard anyone opening a paper bag. I've seen it in videos, but...
Yeah, you need to listen more.
Yeah.
So paper bags. But we also had this whole plastic bottle brick. There was that one.
Yeah.
Or was it plastic bottle plastic? Did they make a brick out of plastic bottles? Or did they make something?
So. Yeah. But then that's gone quiet.
I haven't heard anything about that since. No. There's the plant-based plastic.
Yeah.
Plant-based. Which is good for vegans. It's just... Everything is plant-based these days. It's just... It just makes me giggle. I think they're not talking about it very much, but I think... Isn't there something like every set they're trying to have one element at least in it that is made from the... I heard someone say that. But I can't tell you where I heard that.
Well, surely that's simple. They just have to make all of the frogs out of plant-based plastic because they include a frog in every set.
There does seem to be a lot of frogs in sets. Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think of a set that didn't have a frog. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of them don't have frogs. I think you're just generalising. I mean, in front of us right now, we've got Heavenly Realms. I can see several frogs. But we've also got Winnie the Pooh, and I can't see any frogs there.
Maybe.
So I think that's a frogless set. I'm also sure that...
Sure they'll have hidden it somewhere.
You think there's always a hidden frog?
Yeah. I mean, isn't the one under the floorboards in Grimwald Place?
Yeah, I think that's what... Didn't you put that one under there? I was like, where's the frog gone? And you're like, oh, it's under here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure there's a reason for that thing. There normally is, right?
They like frogs.
They like frogs, okay. No, surely I think it's that they made most of the plant elements out of plant-based plastic.
Yes, I think that's what they started with.
If those are in most sets, that's an easy way of saying it's in most sets.
Yeah, but it does seem like they've definitely dialed back how much they're talking about it. So the first botanical sets, they talked about it a lot.
Yeah, it was a big selling point.
But then in future botanical sets, they've not mentioned it.
I guess.
I don't know if it's not going as well as they hoped.
I mean, have they got any updates on their website of sustainability? Have you looked?
No, I've not looked. I do research.
Well, research. What do you reckon it comes under?
I don't know.
Value? It used
Could
to
be our
under
values.
here somewhere.
So what are our values?
Sustainability. Our sustainability progress 2021. Read more.
I'm just thinking, are we due a 2022 update?
Yeah, maybe we're a little bit too soon. Maybe that's why they're not talking about it, because they're not there yet. I mean, there's the US factory that everyone was complaining about that they're opening.
Yeah.
That one's going to be
carbon neutral, isn't
it? So that's a commitment to the future of their sustainability.
Yeah.
That didn't go down very well though. Like, it seemed quite a negative reaction to that. People were like, why are they making more factories? Why not they just use the one they've already got? What do you say to that?
It makes sense for them to have a factory in America. That's one of the big markets that they're going after, and having a factory in the country you're selling the product makes sense, because
then you don't have to transport it as well.
Yeah. They'll be shipping in the raw materials, but that's, a lot more concentrated. A block of plastic, or however they transport it, will be solid. So it takes up a lot less space.
The amount of space in every Lego box that has nothing in it, that's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So
it means that they're reducing the impact of the transport. As we said, it's a brand new facility they're building, so it will be more economical. It makes sense for so many different reasons. I know a lot of people have gone, oh no, they've done this because they made a lot during the pandemic and it's then going to be a massive problem. But plans for this site will have been thought of before the pandemic. So
this isn't a knee-jerk, we need more production because we've got a high turnover. It's we want to make a better factory.
Yeah.
And starting from nothing is easier than retrofitting all the other stuff. And
so back in 2018, when they were seeing sales drop, they would have been thinking about this.
Yeah.
So, I think in some ways people panic over stuff when they don't need to.
Yeah. I feel like we are probably due an update to this, because one of the headlines is that Lego brick made from bottles.
Yeah.
So if that was included in these highlights, then maybe we should have waited a couple more weeks. Maybe we'll be back in a couple more weeks with another episode of the podcast about sustainability.
We might do.
It says here, we invested in renewable energy and expanded solar panel capacity at our factories by 98% compared to 2020.
That's not bad.
That is. That's like nearly 100%.
Nearly.
A whole bunch of Lego bricks have been donated via the Replay programme as well. Do you know what the Replay programme is?
So isn't this that you can take your old stuff into stores?
In North America,
North America.
Yeah. So there was 296,000 kilos of Lego bricks donated.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah. And it exceeded the milestone of 100,000 children reached. So that's good for the children and it's good for the planet. Because, I'm sure I saw on Facebook the other day, someone had rescued Lego from a skip. It's like, who puts Lego in a skip? It doesn't make sense.
If you're clearing out a room and just chucking everything into a skip,
then you are a bad person.
Yeah.
I understand in some situations you don't have the time to sort through everything. But not Lego. always reuse Lego. Why are you chucking it away in the first place? What's wrong with these people?
As I said, it could be people going and doing a house clearance. They don't care what's there.
Well, they're
being paid to empty the house.
They should care about the Lego. Bad people.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of this also talks about inspiring the next generation. So, rebuild the world. It's not sustainability, but it kind of is. It's kind of tenuous, isn't it? But
yeah.
If they can teach children that they can make a difference, then we can just forget about sustainability until they come along and fix it all for us. No, that's not the message. That's not the message at all. But there's an element of that, I guess. They seem to think it because it's on their sustainability headlines.
Yeah.
Or highlights, even. No, headlines. Highlights. Headlines. Highlights. Moving on. What more can they do? Are they trying hard enough?
That's kind of impossible to say, isn't it?
Well, because we don't know exactly what they're doing behind the scenes.
You know, could they be spending more on moving to plant-based plastics faster, but they're not doing that because they don't want to eat into their profits too much, and so therefore they're doing it over a longer time period? There's almost definitely going to be an element of that.
Yeah. Are they keeping up with other toy companies?
I'm not hearing much from other toy companies either, to be honest.
I'm thinking back to Christmas when we brought like a whole bunch of dolls from the Disney store. And we bought several dolls beforehand. The packaging was significantly different on the latest one. There was literally zero plastic on those dolls because they'd made, and it was really nice packaging, they'd made the inside into like a little holding castle type thing for the doll. So it had like little doors that then opened, so that kept it tight inside, and then it was just a paper box. And to the point where, you know, I didn't want to throw away the packaging because it was so nice. And then
they had the like paper string.
thing. Everything was paper, and it was nice to see.
Yeah.
So it is evident that other companies are also thinking about it.
Yeah.
I guess we're not looking at their headlines, so they might also be shouting about it and going, we're going to be sustainable by 2027, 2020, whatever.
Yeah.
How are we in 2022? It's madness.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It's like the future.
It's like the future.
Like, I remember the millennium, and that was the future. And now we're 22 years on.
I'm sure by now we're meant to have robot butlers. Though,
yeah,
so,
where are our robot butlers?
That's what Tomorrow's World told us.
Tomorrow's World was a big lie.
It was.
Or it wasn't, because it's called Tomorrow's World. So you never actually get the things they talk about, because it's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we meant tomorrow.
No, I'm sure they would say roughly when. In the next 10 years or in the next 20 years kind of thing.
Does that program still exist?
No idea.
Well, we've digressed.
We have digressed a little. So shall we loop back to talking about the CMFs in boxes?
Okay.
Because I figure there's some stuff that we should say about that.
Go on then.
People need to stop just talking nonsense.
Who's talking nonsense?
Oh, the number of people who go, if they do a CMF in a box, no one's going to buy the CMF. You know, it's like, if you can't feel it, people will still buy the CMFs. That's what we know. People
have an instant bout of outrage.
Yes.
And they use that emotion to make a massive overgeneralisation about how everyone else will feel. And it's not just about how everyone else will feel right that second they find out, but forever.
Yeah.
Even the person who says no one's going to buy it, the next day they're going to be like, oh, but I really like CMFs. I'm going to get them. They forget that with time, that pain of this decision will numb, and actually it won't seem so bad the next day.
And the other fun one that you see a lot of is video CMFs are in boxes, and that's why video failed. That's not why video failed.
Video failed because of the whole other side, the sets were the issue.
Yeah.
And
the overpricedness of the sets.
The technology.
The app being useless, the app being
the
not
concept,
what parents wanted. The requirements for running the app, meaning that children didn't have phones that were capable. There were so many problems with it.
The only good thing about video was the bandmates, the CMF series.
The number of Americans who were upset about not being able to get hold of the second series.
I can't believe they didn't send them over there. It just seems rubbish.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should have bought more. I have regret. I mean, I've got them all, but I want to help those people who don't, because that's how kind I am. The way I just phrased that made it sound like I was going to some sort of starving country. I want to help them. I mean, talk about first world problems here. And again, back to like feeling like this is not the biggest issue in the world, but.
But yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So one person said like, oh, well, you're just going to see like shelves full of ripped open boxes. I'm like, but we didn't see that with video.
No.
And lots of people wanted the characters. And lots of people wanted very specific characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the paper bags is going to cause more of a problem.
Paper boxes.
No,
it's an alien concept, isn't it?
It depends on which shape they go with. Some of them look more bag-like.
Well, I think that they discounted quite a few of them for some sort of reasons.
Yeah.
I think Brickset did like a whole article on it, which I vaguely skimmed but forgot all the contents.
Okay. But, so we didn't see ripped open ones for video, but there was specific characters that people really wanted. If the Series 23 were in boxes, I mean, a lot of people really want the Knight. That seems to be one that people want to get an army build with.
Right.
And change the heads to male heads, because can't possibly have female.
Why would you want girl
Despite
Knights?
the fact that clearly, in the original castles, 50% of them were female.
Were they?
Who knows? They were classic heads.
Oh, of course. So, yeah, you've got no clue, because they were all just one, like, smiley face.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
That's okay.
Walked right into that one.
So, would people be hunting out those specific ones? And if you can't fill, would people resort to ripping them open? But we didn't see it with video. As long as they don't have a CMF where there is one chase figure that you really want, then I don't see it being a problem.
So hopefully they'll do it so that they're all in order again as well. So if you take the first 12 from a box, you've got good chance. I mean, we know that there is always that random element of someone checking at the factory.
Yeah.
But you've got a good chance of getting a complete set. Or someone was talking about taking a set of scales with you and weighing them all, working out which is which.
Yeah.
And then...
You wouldn't at all look like a drug dealer walking around with a set of
high precision scales, yeah. How high precision do you think it needs to be? Like our kitchen scales, would that be enough?
Probably not.
Okay. I was considering like doing that.
We can try it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun video. And anything to help those poor people who can't fill bags anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could... maybe it's just the experience of feeling a bag that people like. And therefore, if they make the inside bag, like, not see-through, so people can still feel them once they've bought them.
Well, if it's going to be a paper bag inside, then, yeah, you won't be able to see into it.
Or maybe they could just, like, where they sell the CMFs, have a, like, padlocked to the side, a bag that people can just squish, just to get that sensation, and then leave.
Yeah.
Just for therapy. Like, come fill our bags. Don't take them, they're not for sale, they're just for squeezing.
It's a shame we don't run the camera at this point with those
I find it, like, when we got the Lego Movie 2, was it Lego Movie 2? That we randomly found in W.H. Smith, like, way after it was done, and we stood there and felt them. It is fun. Because you feel like a proper super expert when you get it right. But I was never good at that. So that's why I don't think I'm upset. Yeah. You were good at it, but I was rubbish. I don't know.
But I mean, what I'm hoping is that, maybe what Lego is hoping, is that it kind of goes back to what they wanted CMFs to be in the first place, which was that you got random CMFs and you would trade them with people.
Yeah, it's all about the software.
So whether we're going to start seeing, a CMF trade station in Lego shows.
Yeah.
This is the area you go to find people who want to swap them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To try and bring back that community element to CMFs.
I think I'd like to swap more with people. I just suck at actually arranging the logistical side of things.
Yeah.
I want someone to come and literally swap it with me at my house, so I don't have to send anything anywhere or go anywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go to the Lego show.
Yeah, you're already there.
Just have a table set up. People turn up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a nicer way of doing it, and that's what the kids actually do. The kids they go to school and they swap their figures. I'm sure that's a thing. We're not very good at that as adults. We're like, oh, don't come near me. I've got my own minifigures. I'm just gonna try and get them all myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone for themselves. Right, I think it's bedtime. I think we
Sounds
should probably
right.
wrap this up and get some Zeds. That's a term.
Yeah.
I'm down with the kids. Okay, so we think that they've made some progress, but not as much as we'd hoped.
Yeah, we're seeing encouraging signs. It's just a lot slower.
I think it's all still the same things they're trying to do. They're just slowly on that path.
Yeah.
whereas there's no big headlines yet. So I guess we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep you informed. So if you've got any comments on how you feel about CMFs and feeling them, let us know in the comments below or wherever you can on whatever platform you're listening to. If you want to listen to any previous episodes, then I will link up the playlist in the show notes or at the end of this episode.
Are you going to link up episode 5 specifically?
Yeah,
if you want to see what we said last time?
If you want to, that's a good point. I'll do that. And we'll be back next week, I guess. Yeah. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.